Hello everyone and welcome to Theme Park Worldwide, where it's Friday the 8th of March 2024 and we're back here at the Alton Towers Resort for one final Nemesis construction update.
We have loved following Nemesis from start all the way through to the finish, and we cannot wait to get on Nemesis next Saturday.
I can't believe there's just 1 week to go until the opening of the park and Nemesis Reborn. Very excited for it, and this is actually our 30th and final update in the series. I can't believe it. What a journey it's been. If you remember when Alton Towers put in them plans to the council to make some changes to Nemesis and do a retrack of the project all the way through to now, and it's about to open. Honestly, what a journey it's been, and we've loved taking you along. Of course, there is a Nemesis construction update playlist here on the channel where you can go back right to the start, that first announcement, and see it all the way through. Blimey, it's windy. See it all the way through from start to this final video. And then of course next week on the channel, opening day for Nemesis Reborn. Of course it closed November 2022. What a day that was when we all gathered in Forbidden Valley. I mean, that night was amazing, wasn't it?
That was a night that I will never forget. The atmosphere around Forbidden Valley was just incredible.
I'll always say that's my favourite night I've ever had at Alton Towers. There was just something about it. John Wardley getting his last ride on there, of course the original designer of Nemesis, and then the final riders, the atmosphere, hundreds of people cheering and watching that happen. It was a very emotional moment. And then just a week after, seeing the track come down, we were standing right here on the car parks watching the track coming out and supports, and then of course earlier last year when we started to see the new track arrive, then the trains, and here we are now. This project is almost complete. So come and join us as we take one final look at Nemesis prior to its opening in just 1 week. But just before we continue talking about Nemesis, just thought I'd share an infrastructure project that's going on here on the car park. They're actually in the process of replacing all the perimeter fencing around Forbidden Valley, so that's been done. And then just here you've got the old fence in there as well. And with a week to go, Galactica test in there as well. It's going to be nice to have two B&M coasters in action this year in Forbidden Valley. I cannot wait for next Saturday. The Alton Towers always like cutting things fine. I mean, a lot of this work, I don't understand why it wasn't done, you know, over early in the close season, really.
Yeah, had so much time to do it, and they leave it till the last minute.
Yeah, all this time, I definitely have done this perimeter fence maybe like November last year when the park closed instead of a week before, but it is what it is. I'm glad it's been done. They've also, hey, Nemesis testing up here, that's what we want. Also, they've actually done the tarmac down here on the footpath, and they've widened this a little bit now, which is great to see. So it's all these little infrastructure improvements that I'm really looking forward to seeing in the park as well. Just coming around the stall turn there. And yeah, you can see it looks like they're going to be replacing these gates by the looks of it, and all the fencing around here at the side's been done. But yeah, look at this, still quite a bit of tidying up to do. You can tell they're also going to be putting in some lighting down here. It'd be nice if they put some speakers on these for the audio, like there is on the pathway down towards the roller coaster restaurant. Yeah, that's certainly something that might be done. But I reckon we're going to get festoon lighted in place down there. It's windy today, like really windy. Your hair's going everywhere, Charlotte. Oh, love it. Yeah, let's get the big zoom out and see what we can see. Yeah, a little bit windy for an aerial update today, I think. Look at this. Woof. Nemesis running a 2-train service as well. There she goes. The beast. Still got test dummies in. Of course, we're still yet to know if anyone's actually ridden it yet. We keep seeing test dummies. That's quite interesting. There we go. So now the lift hill, we know can slow down because the other one hasn't cleared the block section at the end yet. That's interesting. So that means they can actually dispatch a train earlier if they want to as well. Yes, that's quite fascinating. And of course it's stopped now at the top of the lift. But yeah, that's an interesting one. I've heard that they've done that. So that means effectively dispatches should be quicker on there now. There she goes. Oh, we've seen it testing quite a bit over the past few weeks, but I tell you what, just to see it again is so exciting. And yeah, I just wanted to show you this. Here's a little throwback for you to the old Alton Towers logo, a proper old school throwback. Look at that, you can tell with how it's faded. Alton Towers where the magic never ends. Comment down below if you remember visiting when that was the logo here at Alton Towers. I mean, we're going back to like the 90s with that. What a throwback. Drinking water. I don't think I fancy drinking anything out of there.
No, I'm not drinking.
Oh, here she comes again. Yeah, all this perimeter fence being replaced. All the pathway. Very good to see. Here she comes. Constantly cycling trains. Oh, another great shot just there. And I tell you what, all the temporary lighting's in place down here as well, so it makes me think they've definitely been working at night round here to hopefully get this project finished. I mean, a week to go is not long at all. Yeah, this infrastructure improvement though is looking pretty good. And yeah, you can see they're replacing the fence all the way down that way. Oh, I can stand here all day watching Nemesis test, and it's just going to be amazing to go back on this beast in just a week's time. Here's a bit of a zoom in then to next to the shipping container, where as you can see, there is a piece of track on the ground, and it kind of looks like it's smashed through the shipping container as part of the theming around the queue lines. Yeah, that looks quite interesting, because the track's got all the red vein detailing on there as well, but it isn't actually part of the layout. Yeah, that's just on the floor, crashed into the shipping container. Like Nemesis has kind of ripped it up as she's been reborn. She's an angry beast, we know that. I'm looking forward to seeing all the details inside the park, what have been done. I've got to say, the station itself is looking fantastic. And if we take a look at these images here from the press release that Alton Towers sent out this week, well, it's very exciting because you can see the tail there. Look at the details on the tail. It looks fantastic, a lot better than the previous one. In the next image just here, you can see one of the tentacles. Over 100 meters of tentacles have actually been made and placed around Forbidden Valley. Now, I'm loving what they've done with the Nemesis station, or the monster itself. I think that looks great, and these tentacles are looking pretty good too. It seems like they've added them to a lot of the rocks around the wider Forbidden Valley area, so that's really interesting to see. And yeah, looking forward to seeing them in person, how they put all these tentacles all the way around. I think that's really going to add to the experience of the area. Here she comes again. Good to see her cycling though on both trains now. I reckon a lot of staff training going on, and that's the thing. Safety is always paramount with theme parks, and yeah, making sure all the staff are trained correctly and know exactly what they're doing ahead of that opening day. Let's get a shot of her coming through the stall turn just over here in a second. There she goes, round to the loop. Oh, taking that loop with some good speed now, which is fantastic. Here's another image then that Alton Towers sent out in the press release, and yeah, you can see just here another look at the station with the grey and red, which looks fantastic. Yeah, very impressed with what we can see from the station itself. In terms of the wider changes around Forbidden Valley, like I say, a bit windy today for an aerial update, but we do know from other people's aerial updates these past couple of weeks that a large black helicopter has now appeared where the Nemesis gun or drill, whatever you want to call it, used to be. And yeah, that's quite interesting because I loved that piece of theming. Many other people did too. But yeah, that has now gone into place just there. And also, it looks like they've started to install the entrance portal to Forbidden Valley, which is like some big fences that connect from the side of the pathway across to the exit for Nemesis Subterra. So looking forward to seeing that in the park, of course, in just a week's time. It seems crazy thinking that, you know, this project's been ongoing for so long now. We're just a week away from getting back inside the park, and I tell you what, they've got a lot of clearing up to do around here. And yeah, like I say, the edge is just a shell in there. The shop was only kind of completed from the exterior like last week, so there's still quite a lot of work to do on the inside there, I'd imagine. And then the only thing we don't really know much about is the inside of the station for Nemesis Reborn. You know, has much been done in there, or is it all just been painted black? It's going to be very interesting to see come Saturday. But you know what, I am liking the changes to Nemesis. The wider Forbidden Valley area, I'm not too sure yet until we see it in person, see it up close. I mean, looking at it from the air and other people's updates that they've done, you know, I'm not too sure on the placement of the helicopter there, where the gun, the drill used to actually be in the centre section. But I guess we'll see. You know, you can't fully judge these things until you see it in person, and that's what, of course, we're going to be doing on opening day, Saturday the 16th of March. There she goes again. And this is a great angle to get. We're going through the corkscrew as well, so I'll give you a good zoom in coming through the corkscrew now. Here she is, looking very cold.
Put my hood on because my hair's going everywhere. But on the tentacles, I've actually just spotted some. I'm hoping that we can get a good zoom on them, but you can see them like over the shop or over some sort of building down in Forbidden Valley.
Yeah, so it looks like these have been placed all throughout the valley. Yeah, if we zoom in just here, you can just make them out. Luckily, I've got a great zoom on this camera, so we can have a good look at what's going on. There you go, you can just see them over there. Yeah, the tentacles are looking pretty good. So I'm excited to see exactly where they're all placed around Forbidden Valley next week. And yeah, you can just see the tail on the back of the station there as well. Look at that. I've got to say, the detailing looks brilliant on that, it really does. So yeah, lots of updates from Nemesis, with just 7 days to go until we're going to be riding on this iconic Alton Towers coaster again. And queuing up for the first time for many around this back section. I remember never queuing up here. You know, I think I came up the side a little bit more than you used to in recent years, but I've never queued around this top section. I don't think, well, Charlotte won't have either, you know.
I've never been all the way up here, but I can imagine when my dad was here, like opening year, he would have came round here.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. You know, it's going to be really nice actually coming down this back section. The views that we're going to get looking down into the pit and of the loop are going to be amazing. I cannot wait to get loads of footage and photos of it next week. And also the queue lines, obviously on the other side of this fence, this is now being painted black. And we did have concerns, you know, about looking out and seeing the car park, if you remember in the previous updates. And they have put the fence in there, but nothing on this side yet, you know. So you're going to be in that part of the queue line and just looking out to the car park. So hopefully there's some fencing going in there as well. There's still a lot to do here. I am worried that, of course, it's going to open next week, but I don't think we're going to be seeing the finished results. I think it's going to be a bit like the Curse at Alton Manor. There's going to be changes happening a few weeks in, you know, which is fully understandable, really, you know. But yeah, at least we're going to be getting on the ride. Well, I think in terms of the full themed experience, it's not going to be finished by next Saturday. It's clear with that. Looks like some permanent lighting going in. And talking of lighting, we actually nipped up here the other night and had a little look in the evening when Nemesis was still cycling, still testing, but we also got some great photos. Look at these. Wow, it looks all nice lit up red, doesn't it there? So yeah, they've had a lot of new red lighting in, and it's good to see some more lighting going into the queue line instead of having to have the festoons. Yeah, you can see another one's gone in here with the Wi-Fi router on there as well. So yeah, good to see them making these steps forward with infrastructure as well. It really is. Well, there we go, that's your Nemesis update. Also, the blade is now back installed as well, just over there. And you can see for the first time in years, they've actually painted the yellow back on the top there. That was a good shot with the loop, wasn't intending for that. You can't see the track now with the fence. Yeah, they've painted the yellow stripes back on there, on the blade, which is that swinging ship. The oldest operating ride now, Alton Towers, that is. Well, there we go, that's Nemesis Reborn. Bring on next week. And to all the construction teams, you've done a fantastic job, everyone that's worked on the project, and I'm looking forward to seeing it next week. Hopefully all this will be looking a lot tidier 7 days from now. You would not think we were a week away from opening. Now, what a 16 months it's been, and I thought the perfect way to end our final Nemesis Reborn construction update would be a photo montage, some of my favourite photos that I've taken over the past 16 months. It really has been an incredible adventure. You know, a selfie there, one of my final rides on Nemesis, making the most of it on a lovely summer day, to then all the signage appearing around the whole of the park. It wasn't just Forbidden Valley, you know, it was the whole of Alton Towers that had these Nemesis closing by order of the Phalanx signs, and that last day of operation, the 6th of November 2022. There's me and Charlotte on the front row of Nemesis, ready for one of our final rides. And you know what? I missed it so much throughout the 2023 season at Alton Towers. Here's our final ride then, an on-ride photo, and yeah, just enjoying the moment of making the most of our last ride on the original Nemesis. And yeah, test specimens, as it says there on the photo. This is quite a sad image actually. This is just a week after that amazing atmosphere from the last ride, and yeah, looking out over Nemesis before they started to take out the track. And it was just a couple of days after that image where we had these photos here on the car park with the Nemesis track sections that had been removed. And you know what? I just want to say a huge thank you to Alton Towers and of course Merlin Entertainments for keeping Nemesis and rebuilding it, hopefully for another 30, maybe even 40 plus years at Alton Towers. They could have easily made the decision to have removed Nemesis and put something new in its place, but you know what? they decided to keep it and do this retracking project. And yes, we've seen some surprises along the way, like a new colour scheme, an extension to the name, and some big changes around Forbidden Valley. But ultimately, we are so pleased that this ride has come back and it's been reborn for 2024. Just seeing that new track arrive, the black track with the vein effect on there was really exciting. And my favourite moment here in the project, seeing the corkscrew be lifted into place. What an adventure it's been. Thank you so much for joining us here on Theme Park Worldwide throughout this project. We're going to be there at the weekend. We're very excited. 1 week to go. Plenty of rides coming up on Nemesis Reborn. And I tell you what, it's clear to see that she's going to be back with a vengeance. Thanks for watching. And that leaves me with one final thing to say. Get out there and keep on riding. We'll see you in the next video.